David R. here. Today I'm going to talk to you about this book, 90 Minutes in Heaven by Don Piper with Cecil Murphy. This is a story about Don's near-death experience. He was driving over a bridge and a semi crashed into him, crushed the car beyond repair. I mean, his car was mangled, and he was inside of it, mangled himself. So he had this experience, and he said there was no tunnel. He didn't go down a tunnel, didn't see a great light or anything like that. His experience wasn't as dramatic as some of the others I've read. Here, I'm going to read a little bit of it. He said, "When I died, I didn't float through a long, dark tunnel. I had no sense of fading away or of coming back. I never felt my body being transported into the light. I heard no voices calling me or anything else. Simultaneous with my last recollection of seeing the bridge and the rain, a light enveloped me with a brilliance beyond earthly comprehension or description. Only that. And then he was greeted by a large crowd in heaven. And these were people that he had known during his life on earth. His grandfather was the first person to greet him. Mike, a childhood friend, greeted him. But he only stood outside the gates with these people. He didn't ever cross over. He didn't go through the gates. But from the gates, he could hear wonderful music playing, being sung, different songs simultaneously, but it didn't sound like noise. It all blended together. Beyond the gates, though, he could see a city of gold. I've read that before in other near-death experiences, people talking about the city of gold. And he saw that city. He also said that time had no meaning. There was no time in heaven. He had a heightened sense of awareness. He felt like he was in another dimension. Yeah, I think that would be quite amazing, to be in another dimension. He said he had conversations with people that centered on joy. There was no darkness, no negativity. It was all peace and happiness. And like I said, he heard the heavenly music, which I would love to hear myself. I'm going to read something else to you, and that concerns the heavenly music. He said, "My most vivid memory of heaven is what I heard. I can only describe it as a holy swoosh of wings. But I'd have to magnify that thousands of times to explain the effect of the sound in heaven." So even the sounds in heaven are beyond our earthly grasp of comprehension. He said he knew everything and had no questions. I've read that before in other books about near-death experiences. And like I say, he walked up to the gate, but he was immediately sent back before he was able to walk through. I'm assuming if he walked through the gate of heaven, then he would not have come back and told his story, obviously. A friend who happened to be going by the wreck saw the wreck and asked a EMT or a police officer if he could pray over the person in the car, because God had just spoken to this pastor and said, "Pray for that guy." And he went to put his hand on the guy's shoulder, or on Don's shoulder, and prayed. And he was singing, and then Don started singing along, and he's like, "He's alive." He goes and tells the EMT, and the guy's like, "Nah, he's dead. He's been dead for a long time." I mean, accident happened at 11:45, I think it was. He'd been there for a long time. They thought he was dead. They were, ready to just ship him off to the morgue, but he was alive. And so basically the rest of the book is just about his recovery and the changes he went through. I was disappointed because there's very little about the actual experience itself. I've read books on near-death experiences, and they go into some really fine detail as to what happened to them, and then they talk about the recovery later. But this book, it's mostly about the recovery and how he went through a lot. Yeah, he went through a lot when he was recovering. I mean, it was bad. And he would never, ever be the same, obviously. But I want more about the near-death experience. That's what I got the book for. Well, anyway, that's all I got. Talk to you later. Bye.